Today we'll learn about the handlers and Ansible roles. Okay, so suppose we make some changes in Apache configuration or any type of configuration. So whenever we make any configuration changes, we need to restart some particular service. If we have an Nginx server, then we'll restart Nginx. If we have Apache server, then we'll have Apache server after making the configuration changes. Okay, and so what we can do is in Ansible playbook, we can write a first step install means we can write a special block to restart the service, right? But if we write a special block for restarting the service, it will restart the service every time the playbook runs, but we do not want that the playbook should run every time when the playbook runs. Okay, we want that only when the configuration changes are done, at that time only the configuration means restart of the service should start. For that we will use handler. Okay, so the combination of handler and notify will be used. Okay, so let's see that example here. So here we are creating a playbook and it is a name as handler example. Okay, so here we will be installing, we will first update the cache, install Apache. Okay, will so Apache comes with some default configuration. Okay, so 00-default.conf will have some default configuration. Okay, so what we will do is we'll create our own custom default file. Okay, we'll keep it in a template folder and we'll replace this default file, okay, with the our custom file. Okay, and after that we'll notify the handler. Okay, so we have a section, we write that notify restart Apache. So whenever we notify, that means a handler is called and the name of the handler is restart Apache, and it is most of the times defined at the end that restart Apache. Okay, so after making the configuration changes, we should always restart the uh, Apache service. That's why here we have a block called handler. Notify will notify to the handler that restart the Apache. Okay, and we'll also copy our custom index.html file. Okay, but but copying the custom file doesn't need restart. Okay, only configuration changes need restart. Okay, and it will run only when the changes are there, otherwise it will not run. So let's check the demo for it. So I'll create mkdir playbook directory. Okay, it's playbooks cd playbooks. So we'll first create some custom files, that is the custom configuration file. It will be in the template directory. It can be in any directory. Most of the times it is whether it will be in templates or in files. So we'll go to the templates directory and we'll create a file, a custom default file. Okay, so by default these are not the values, so we have changed. So this value we have changed. Documentary root is always still HTML, we have changes to web 14. Okay, so these two changes we have done. Now we'll create the index.html page as well. Okay, so it has only web 14 inside it. So we have a template directory in which we have a custom Apache configuration and a custom index.html. Now we'll write our main playbook. So write it in a playbook. Do not write it in the template directory, and this is the playbook. We are naming it as a handler.yml. We can name it anything. So just do Ansible. We also need host.ini. So we have a server block, and inside that we have IP address.
This entry already we have, right? By
No,
default.
I have created a new VM. That's why.
Okay, okay.
Dot 14. So we have this host.ini. Let's run it. Ansible playbook -i host.ini handler. And I think I forgot to do passwordless SSH, so it will give error. Let's do that as well. We'll copy this on the remote host. Okay, now it will work. Let's check if sudo su works. Okay, it's working. That means sudo entry is already there. Okay, it's updating the packages. So it's taking time. It's done. Now it's installing Apache. So everything is the same which we do every day. The only thing is notifying the handler. Okay, and we have to test that it does that only when there are configuration changes. So now there will be the configuration changes. After that we'll run it again to check that again if the handler is called or not, if there is no changes. So we are copying now the custom Apache configuration. We created the web directory and copying index.html to it. Now there is handler is started. Okay, so if you see dp g-l grep apache, we have Apache installed. Now if we do curl localhost, then also it will give web 14 because the default HTML page and the default root directory we have changed. So this is fine. Okay, but we need to test now. Now we are not making any changes. Okay, now I'll again run the Ansible playbook, and let's see what happens. Now we need to check if the handler is again called or not. Okay, so if you see, there are no changes, only. So when there are no changes, it says okay, and handler is not called this time. Okay, the handler will be called only when there are configuration changes. Okay, so this is one of the interview question I always ask. Very few people answer it. Okay, so that's it for this exercise. Any questions? Let me know.